Alright, what you see here is a new fan I got from Aden Ceiling Fan Corner. This is a Hampton Bay Carousel ceiling fan, quite possibly the very first version, as I'm not sure what year this one is made from specifically. This one is made by CEI, and I believe that this is just a relabeled Encon Carnival or Festival, I think that's what it was called. It's the one that Brian Peterson had and then gave to, or sold to, Tori the Fan Man. The reason why I feel like it's just a rebadged version because the Hampton Bay logo is just a sticker. Originally I thought this was just a Hampton Bay make, and then I found, aside from the Beverly Hills Fan Company California Surfer, I thought it was just a knockoff of that. But I feel like this one's also just a rebadged version of the Encon version. As I didn't even know that the Encon had their own version of these, but they do. Now, the reason why I feel like this is a rebadged Encon version is for one reason only. It's that it's like a matte finish like the Encon version, and also it does glow, or the colors reflect off of a blacklight. Now, there was a person, the one that owns the Tubular Toads in Florida, that said that they never made the Hampton Bay Carousel with this paint job where it can reflect off of blacklight. Well, I'm here to prove that wrong. As you can see, it is reflecting off of a blacklight LED that I have in the corner. So yes, they did make a version of the Hampton Bay Carousel that basically goes in the dark if you have a blacklight. As you can see, the colors are clearly reflecting off of it. Yeah, I never seen this version of the carousel as a kid. I'm pretty sure this is the first version because I do know I've seen the box of this version with like the first version of the carousel and such, like on the box. So I'm pretty sure this was the first one. Then they came out with an SMC type that basically had nicks in the switch housing and such. And I think after that they came out with a version that it's very similar to the one that I had as a kid. Well, still have to this day, but it was a version that had a yellow canopy with the point tip blades. And then they changed over to the version that I have as a kid, but they first had it with a yellow canopy, and then they waited to switch it to a black canopy up until they stopped selling them all together and came out with the Carousel 2. That's what I think is the timeline of these Hampton Bay Carousel, so I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. But this definitely seems to be the earliest version. Here's the tag right there. But yeah, the spotlights are definitely not in the best shape, as you can tell. And the blue one was already broken when Aden had gotten it. I just put some black Gorilla Tape to just kind of hold it in place for whenever I test it. I mean, it's still not in good shape, the white, but it'll at least keep the white in place for like when I'm testing it and not have it dangling around as much. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool fan. I'm really glad I got this from him. It's definitely a fan I can see in an arcade, especially. And yeah, it's definitely a very unique, uncommon, possibly rare fan from the 90s that Hampton Bay sold. Well, the Carousel's not a rare fan, but this version of it's definitely, I'd consider rare, since this seems to be the only one that has surfaced and such that I know of. But I mean, also the fact that nobody really knew that the Hampton Bay Carousel had this type of paint job like the Beverly Hills California Surfer, I definitely feel like this proves it to be a rare fan, since nobody even knew that this existed. So yeah, it does come with a switch cap as well. which I probably will test out with a switch cap. I mean, how often do you find these with a switch cap? But yeah, I'm not sure how old this thing is. It might be from 1996. I don't know. That was like that was the first year they came out with these, either 1995 or 1996. So it could be from around then. I don't think it's from 1997. I know for a fact it's not from 1998 because the one that I had from when I was a kid was from 1999, and I know before that they had the point blade version for a short period of time, which was from 1998. So I know this one has to be either from 1997 or 1996 at the latest. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's probably the first version of the Hampton Bay Carousel, or maybe the second one. I'm not sure if the SMC one was first, but I feel like this is probably the first version. But yeah, I'm just not 100% sure, because especially with this one not having a date code on it, it kind of makes it even trickier to confirm that. But yeah, I mean, there was this version, the SMC type of the SMC Nixon, the switch housing, the point tip blade version. Then they made that with the rounder looking blades like this, with the skinnier looking switch housing and the skinnier looking vents. And then they made the later version that's like the type that I got. That seems to be the most common version. Well, they also sold that one for a few years in that version, so that makes sense. They first had it with a yellow canopy, and then they changed it over to black canopy. And then they changed it from being a 4 5-blade bladed fan to a 5-blade only fan before they discontinued them. That's what I've come across with them, and that's what I think is a timeline of these, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, here's this extremely rare Hampton Bay Carousel. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.